Today's topic will be on safety, hygiene, and behavioral rules in the restaurant. This is the essential foundation of working in a tourist resort. So we're going to be talking about this mandatory things that we have to follow when we are in the tourist resorts. So anyone who wants to tell me why hygiene and safety matters in the restaurant?
And just read
Sure, go ahead.
what you've presented. So it says why hygiene and safety matters. So hazard analysis and critical loss controls. So we have the dining room, which is a very vulnerable point.
Mhm.
Yeah, so by being a vulnerable point, I believe this being a place where is more congested, where a lot of activities takes place, the eating, the serving, and so forth. So it makes it vulnerable, such that we should mind what we put along the way. Like we shouldn't be obstructing. We should be mindful to say, okay, maybe somebody has dropped a knife, a fork, the cutlery. We should make sure to say the way is clear so that it doesn't cause accidents in a way.
So in the dining room, as Betty said, it's a vulnerable point. So we have to be careful with the utensils being touched by the guests. So children will be there moving freely. We have to be also careful about it. There will be some spills and drips there. We have to be hygienic about it. Once there's something, we have to clean and sanitize everything. Also, as we know, the food will be in the buffet, so the food will be exposed to the air. So we have to be careful about contamination and cross-contamination between foods because some people are allergic to some foods. So we have to be careful about contaminants too. So as Betty said earlier, HCCP is a hazard analysis and critical control point. It's a system where we prevent food contamination before it happens. So it's a risk management, to be honest. So for hot food, the temperature should be greater than or equal to 60 degrees centigrade. For a cold food, less than 4 centigrade. And there are some mistakes that we do in the dining area. For example, lids might be kept opened. We might be slow when we replenish the trays and also overfill trays. This will actually risk for the contamination of the food. So we have to be careful about our safety and also the hygiene at the same time and prevent the cross-contamination between foods from, for example, we might have seafoods in the buffet. So we have to be careful about contamination of those foods. And we shouldn't also mix spoons. If we're gonna be presenting a salad with one spoon and if you're like gonna give another pasta or something with the same utensil, it's also considered to be also like a contamination. So do not mix spoons, use it separately for everything. And also replace contaminated trays immediately. So this is also a continuation from HCCP principle. Anyone who wants to tell me about allergies, anyone who has allergies like food allergy from the participants? It might be peanut butter or anything, seafoods, anyone who's allergen?
I have an allergy.
Okay, tell me more about it.
So all the seafood, all the fruit that's in my mother.
Okay, sure. So we have to be we have to actually prevent the allergy. Before guests come to the restaurant dining, they will talk to the highest hierarchy about their allergy situation and everything. So when they come to the restaurant, we will be providing them or give them the section where they will be allowed to eat. For example, some people are allergic to seafood, as you said earlier. They might not like to eat fish or shrimp or anything like that. So we will be considerate about that. And also, there are some people who do not eat gluten foods. So there are some gluten-free buffet will be also presented for them. So we have to separate the allergen-free areas as indicated on the slides and also dedicate utensils and protective covers. As I said earlier, don't mix the utensils. So use separate spoons for everything. Don't mix it. It's also considered as a cross-contamination. So we have to be replacing the food or the immediately replacing everything that's not there and also reporting to the manager or the kitchen staffs. So an allergy issue is not just a simple issue. It might also risk it might also be a life-threatening. So you should be careful when it comes to allergies. The other thing is about leftover management. Betty, can you tell me where the leftovers might go after we finish serving the guests? Maybe in case you have the.
Okay, so when we talk of the leftovers, usually you take them back inside in the kitchen, like in the main kitchen, where
Mhm.
a decision will be made, like where they can go. We are
Okay.
not supposed to leave leftovers throughout the day when people have already eaten.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So as Betty said, we have to discard food beyond allowed times to prevent any kind of issues. And also, if there are things that we have to recycle, we have to. There is no recycling of food, so we don't have to mix the old one with the new food. We have to discard it properly. We have to report the leftovers to the kitchen staff, and also do not move trays without authorization. So that kitchen staff will be letting us know when to move the trays or not. So we have to wait, and later after they gave us an authorization, we will replace everything. This one is about the personal safety in dining area. There is a high risk environment. As already mentioned here, we have to be careful with hot dishes, liquids, and also, as I said earlier, will be like moving or running around the resort. So we have to be careful about that too. And also heavy trays. And um, in your internship, you will understand about the swing doors because there will not be a stiff doors there. So there will be a swing doors. So whenever you are carrying something, you have to be careful about the swing doors. Otherwise, you'll be breaking some utensils or anything. So you have to be careful about the swing doors. The other one is safe movement. So before you start to do something, or if there is a carrillo or something that you're moving on, you have to say attenzione, or you have to announce that you are passing. If you are behind them, you have to tell them that you are passing now. If there is a hot dish, just say it's a hot dish. Please be attention. So you have to actually announce about your passing. The other one is a professional posture. As I said in the last class, I have said that our posture should be straight back. The forearm support should be there, steady steps, and we don't have to run like children, okay? You should be careful about your steps, the steps that you take. And when we come to the wet floor management, the resort is a chaotic environment, okay? So you might spill or drip something. So you have to either dry it immediately, or if there's something above our uh, capability, we have to put a sign, a warning sign, so that people will notice and will not pass through that road. The other one is handling hot trays. So when handling hot trays, don't use a bare hand. You might end up like burning your hand. So use clothes like gloves, but somehow cotton gloves. And the other one is avoid the edge and keep distance from guests. So because they're our attention, so we have to satisfy the guests. So we have to tell them if their guests are in there while walking, we have to tell them or announce that we are moving with a hot dish so that they will not end up getting burned. Okay, personal hygiene. Uh, our dining room is a visible image of the resort. The way we present ourselves, the way our we actually present or represent ourselves as the visible image of the resort. So the rules that must be followed in the resorts are the following. The first one is a clean uniform, and the second one is a non-slip shoes. It depends on what kind of resort that you're gonna join. Some resorts might say black shoes, some might say white shoes, but whatever the shoes is, it should have a strong grip on the ground. So you shouldn't be slipping around. So non-slip shoes. The other one is for the women, especially because we have to cover our hair or tie them. So our hands should be washed constantly, and we shouldn't be using strong perfumes and jewelries too. And in the workplace, a mobile phone is not allowed while working. Maybe in your break time, of course, sure you can use it, but like during work, you cannot use your mobile phones. There should be a neat appearance, as I said. Cleaning of equipment. Okay, so earlier in last classes we said there will be a beverage point, right? So there are water or wine dispensers or soft drink dispensers. Okay, so we have to clean the nozzles and check if there is a drip, and also empty trays after we finished serving the guests. The other one is coffee machines. We have to clean the port filters, empty the used coffees or run cycles. Okay, so after a guest finished like using the tables, you have to clean them fast and replace with a new uh, cover for the table and ensure a turnover. For the buffet glass displays, there should be a clean surface because glass are so sensitive for anything. So even when you are using it, you have to wear gloves while cleaning the glasses. So the surface should be clean, and we have to remove any stains on the surface of the glass display. The buffet utensils, we have to replace it every 20 to 30 minutes after we get the authorization from the kitchen department. And we have to also dry them properly. Before I started talking about the behavioral rules, can someone repeat about the personal hygiene part, the rules, so that we can actually go ahead and finish the classes earlier?
Okay, so as it is written on personal hygiene, the rules are that the uniform must always be clean, non-slippery shoes, hair tied and covered, hands washed constantly, no strong perfumes of jewelry, no use of mobile phones unless during break time or our free time. So in short, we're not supposed to come to the front with our phones, and we should always maintain a neat appearance.
Okay, thank you, Betty. Thank you. Okay, this one is the same with the last class about the behavioral rules, which is mandatory. We have to follow this. You can see it from the image that the staff members, the runners are like smiling all the time. So the first rule that we have to follow as a runner or as a camaraderie is we have to speak little, but clearly. We have to be precise about the things that we talk. There shouldn't be a long conversation with the guests, okay? So it should be simple and precise. We have to constantly smile, and we have to have the professional posture, as I said it earlier. And in a restaurant environment, it's not about and it's not an individual work, okay? It's a teamwork. So you have to be coordinating with the teams. There is no I in the restaurants. You have to be like it's we. So it's a team game. So you have to be coordinating with the team members and help each other. You don't have to blame each other or insult anything, but you have to coordinate the team and follow the rules properly. And if there is something wrong, you have to report it to the manager or to the maitre of the restaurant. And also, you have to help your colleagues to finish the jobs earlier and also to do it properly. You have to help each other. As I said, it's a team job. It's not an individual job. You have to continuously observe the buffets. If there's something to be replaced, you have to replace it. If a guest anything, you have to report to the manager or to the maitre so that the guests can get whatever they want. And also, we have to remove dirty dishes properly, and like it should be replaced so fast, and clean the table silently. Don't create any drama like in the restaurant. Be gentle about it and like remove the dirty dishes and clean the tables. And you have to greet the guests politely, especially when they come to the restaurant. You have to start by saying welcome to our restaurant and show them a smiley face. Greet them politely. It should be a smiley face with a polite greeting. And we don't want a conversation with the guests. It's a simple talk with them, and precisely and clearly. Is everything okay till now? Should I continue?
No, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. What are forbidden for the runners or for the camaraderie? The followings are forbidden. It's a behavioral rule that's forbidden for us. The first one is we're not supposed to shout or argue in front of guests because we are representing the restaurant. So we are the visible image of the resort restaurant. So no shouting, no arguing in front of the guests. And while we are working, we should not show our nervousness. Don't show the nervousness, and don't run around. Walk stably and quietly, and do it in a nice way. And also, as I said earlier, you don't need to use your phone. Keep your phone away from your pockets or anything. You have to put your phone away. You can use it later after you finish your work or in your break times. Don't use your phone. While the guests are present in the restaurant, eating in the dining room is not allowed. Uh, Leaving a visible waste, like it can be a tissue paper or something. You don't need to do that. Don't do that. And also, to the guests, while talking to the guests, don't be rude. Give them a respectful answers. And also, instead of saying I don't know for any question that comes from the guests, you have to say, one moment, I'll check it for you, and ask someone who actually knows about it. Don't just say I don't know, who cares, or something. This is not allowed. This behavior is forbidden for us. The other one is the relationship between the kitchen and the dining room. We'll be running the dining room, and the kitchen will be run by the kitchen staff member. So we have to be professional, fast, and clear about it. So students must, the first one, announce when entering the kitchen, and also use short and clear sentences with the staff members. Never take the trays without permission. You have to ask for the staff member to actually have a permission to take the trays. And also inform the kitchen when the trays are finished, so that you can replace it fast and serve the guests. Then the last one is, you don't need to argue. Never argue with the kitchen staff. So never argue, not just with the kitchen staff, but also with your colleagues in front of the guests. Don't argue or don't shout at each other. So next, we're going to be seeing about the professional language. So my Italian is not good. So for every phrases that I put here, I want everyone to put in the chat the Italian version of the sentence or the phrases that I put here. For example, the correct phrases that we use are, I'll be right there, I'll check it for you, please take a seat, may I ask you to wait a moment, thank you for your patience. And the forbidden phrases are, wait, what do you want? This is not my fault. You cannot say these words. Be polite and respectful. So from the participants, I want the correct phrases to be translated into Italian, and you can put it in the chat box. I hope everyone is following the Italian class by Valeria. So let's try our best and put it in the chat so that we can actually translate it into Italian. The first one is, I'll be right there. Can someone put it in the chat, or you can also unmute your microphone and tell me in Italian so that we can learn together,
Verificherò per te.
Okay, what does it mean?
I'll check it for you.
Okay, nice. Okay.
And for I'll be right there is arrivo subito.
Okay, subito. Controllerò per te, ok. Cosa vuoi? Grazie per la sua pazienza, ok. Thank you for your patience. Aspetta un po', ok. Per favore, pizza, ok. Thank you a lot for your answers. Thank you everyone who actually sent it in the chat. Thank you. Okay, this is the last slide, but I want to revise it before I end the meeting. So anyone who wants to tell me the hygienic rule and also the behaviors that are not allowed to show.
Okay, so on the hygienic rule, as you earlier taught us, we need to always be clean. We need to avoid slippery shoes. Our hair should always be tied and covered. Constantly washing of our hands. No strong perfumes or jewelry. No use of mobile phones, and we should, by all means, maintain a neat appearance. Like, we should be presentable.
Okay, thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
Anyone from the Guys, who wants to say about the behavioral rules, the mandatory ones? Faustin?
Okay, let me try. I think you said that
Okay.
we should speak we should speak little and our communication should be clear.
Okay.
And also we have to show constant smiles. We have to smile at the guests so they can know that we are here, we are doing the work for them. And our posture should be professional also, the way we stand. And the team should be a coordination. We should work as a team also. We should help each other to make sure the work is done on time. And anything we've seen, we have to report it so that they can know what is going around.
Okay.
We have to help our colleagues proactively to make sure things are done on time. Also observe buffets. We have to see whether buffets are empty or not.
Okay.
And then we have to remove dirty things. When the clients have eaten, we have to take the dirty things from the table to make sure the table is clean. We have to make sure the tables are also clean on time so that you can serve the other clients on time also. And then we have to greet the guests with smile and also in politely also. I think those are
Thank you.
things we
Thank
should
you.
cover.
Thank you, Asuman. Thank you. Thank you a lot for everyone who participated during the lessons. So I'll just repeat some of the key takeaways from the last slides. Hygiene and safety equals to the foundation of hospitality. It's a visible image of the dining room, and dining room is as critical as a kitchen for HACCP. And guys, don't forget to join also the classes for HACCP. We'll be having a 2 hours lessons in the future, so don't forget about this class too. The other one is students must combine technical hygiene rules, the personal safety and posture, professional behavior and language. So clean, safe, and professional service builds a guest trust. So I hope you take away these key concepts. Darius, can you take the stage? I'll be now ending my session.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to the band class where we make magics. So, the back course started last week, but those who haven't attended yet, I'm going to make a summary of what we have seen last time, and then yeah, we proceed with others. So, my first question for all of you, if you're still here, like, what is the difference between a barista and a bartender? If you can write in the chat, I will see your response. It's a simple question.
For me, what I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
bartender is the one who serve alcohols, and a barista is the one who make coffee.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Concord also has written something in the chart. Barista makes uh, espresso with machines, mixtation, coffee, blah, blah, blah. Bartenders focuses on. Yes, this is true. So simply, the barista is the one dealing with coffee. So they specializes in coffee preparations, and then they work mainly with espresso machines, and then they prepare cappuccino, espresso, macchiato, all the types of coffees, and then they concentrate themselves on milk fronting, coffee quality, and machine cleanliness. Instead, the bartenders they're the one who prepares alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks. So let's say alcohol and soft drinks. They serve cocktails, beers, wine, spirits, and as well as soft drinks. And then they manage the bar stocks, the ice, the glasses, and then their work is really under pressure. So they even do work like different times because the baristas mainly they work in the mornings, whereas the bartenders work in the evening. But all that you said, you guys, was true. And so this course is for baristas and bartenders altogether. And what we expect like from students is like preparing 15 to 20 basics cocktails like in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I mean. There we be talking about like the general and the simple cocktails like the mojito, the gin tonic, serving the vodka with lemon, making the spritz, the Aperol spritz, the Campari spritz, and then students we expect them to manage the coffee services to be well and in making coffees, different types of coffees that we'll see like in this topic, and how to make each one of them, and how to serve beers without excess foam, because you know that some people serve beer like when you try to see the glass is half beer, half foams, which is not a good thing to do. So we get to see how to serve beers, how to serve wines in a proper way, how to handle the bottles as well as the glasses, how to refill the ice, how to manage the long line of people, how to communicate well in English as well as Italian, and how to maintain the professional gestures. You will see that some of the topics will be the same as those from the restaurant who are dealing with the restaurant. And we do have the 10 chapters that we will see. The first one is the bar in tourist resorts. And the second one is the safety hygiene, which we'll get to see today. My colleague has talked about some, and then we see some on the bar side. And then the third chapter is about fast mixing techniques, the basic cocktails and resort standards. The fourth one is bar counter techniques. The next one will be the beverage service in tourism villages. Another one will be of aperitivi, if you know the word aperitivi. Yeah, how to make the best aperitivi and when to make them. The other one will be about the most common bar mistakes and how to handle them. The professional bar checklist, how to manage the checklist, as well as the bar scenographic simulations. So last week we started about differentiating the traditional bar as well as the resort bar, where they are differentiated in four styles. So the first one is the volume of the service, because the resort bar actually has from 800 to 1,500 people per day. And this is a big number because the traditional ones don't have like such big number. And the resort bar are really busy, and the bartender so has to be really strong and quick. And the second way to differentiate them are the types of guests, because in the resort bar we have different nationalities. We have the Spanish, we have the British, we have like Africans, Americans, all the kind of guests. Instead, in the traditional bar, we only deal with the local ones. So if you are in Napoli, you deal with the Napoli people, mostly like Italians. If let's say for those who are outside Italy, if you're in Germany, you deal with the German people, blah, blah, blah. So they are the local people. The third way to differentiate them is the types of drinks they serve. In the resort bars, we do serve, because if I'm talking to resort bars, that's where like hotels are, and that's where we will be focusing at. So we serve like the simple drinks and with the known standards, because like if you say Aperol spritz from the southern to the northern, it's always the same. So it's done the same way. And so it's simple to make. Whereas like in the traditional bars, sometimes they do have their own local brands. They do have like their own local beers. Instead, like in the resort bar, we use the most common ones, like the common ones you can get from like every market. And then the fourth one is the service style, the service they serve. So in the resort bars, service must be fast, because as we've seen, if we are taking care of 800 people or 1,000 people like in an hour, so we have to be fast, we have to be organized, we have to manage the stress so well. Instead, the traditional bars is so chill. Like you don't have to struggle a lot, because mainly you'll be finding like, I don't know, 20 people in one bar, and it's easy to manage. And so they don't need like a lot of number of bartenders, whereas like in resorts you can even find like five bartenders in the same bar. And there are like different laws within the bar. They are like three main roles, like in the bar, the bar manager, we have the bartender, and then the junior bartenders. And they have different laws because the bar manager, they manages the shift. So they are the ones like to schedule, like to make a schedule of like weeks, how we can do, like how we be performing, and which, like everyone, how many hours we be doing, blah, blah, blah. And then they supply the orders, they control the stocks, and they train the whole team. Whereas the bartender, which is the second role, they coordinate the bar and support the staff. And then they prepare the most complex drinks because uh, we are actually the ones to, like the junior bartenders, like we are the ones to make the cocktails. But when it comes to complicated or complex cocktails, the senior baristas or bartenders, like they are the ones to handle it. And then they coordinate the junior bartenders. So the bartenders or the commis bar, which is like our field because we are still students. They prepare like the simple drinks, they manage ice machines, they maintain the bar cleanliness, they support during the rush hours. And yeah, these are the three laws within the bar. And so last week we also saw that there are different operation areas in resort bars. And they are the following ones: the front bars, the back bar, the coffee station, the cold beverage area, the fridges and storage and ice, and the aperitif zone. We explained each one of these during the last week's course or lecture. So we give the handouts, and there are a brief details like of each one of these there. And then we talked about the psychological roles in the bar, because a bar is not only like a place to only have coffee and drinks only. It's a place of relaxation. It's a place of socializing with people. It's a place of having fun, where people come and take photos and videos. It's a place where connection and entertainment happens. So if we can say a bar is a magical place, so all of this happens there, and we are actually the ones to make this happen. So we are the ones to make like the place look clean for people to have good pictures. We are the ones who should kind of show the well social the social behaviors like towards the clients, so they feel relaxed. And yeah. So today we are going to see the safety, hygiene, and the AKCHP at the bar. As we saw from my colleague, she introduced like all of them generally. And I would say that actually the rules or the behaviors of the hygiene that the waiters should have, we also baristas should possess them. Like there I'm talking about being clean, tidy, standing with a great posture, like fixing your hair very well, cutting your nails, everything. And so we baristas and bartenders have to have them also. And what is AKGGP? Like I remember that last year we had a course from Professor Mauro about like AKGGP, and simply it's a hotel accommodation and customer care program. And this program ensures the safety of food and beverages that we do serve. And so, like my colleagues, we go deep in it because I think we do have a specific course about the AKCHP. But this is a brief introduction and the behaviors that we should possess as the baristas and bartenders. So one thing that we must be aware of is that a bar is one of the most risky place that you can imagine, more than even the kitchen, because many students believe that a bar is less dangerous, but that's not true, because a bar actually presents a great operation skills, because you have to work directly in front of the guests. That's the first and critical one. And then there are fruit and there are liquids everywhere. Like when you're making, let's say, cocktails, of course, you get to see like some of the liquids just fall like at the contour or just down. There is glass, there is ice, there is machines like around you. The work is performed in high speed, if I can say, because we are talking about resort bars. The flow sometimes is not like wiped, and so you have to be careful. Children are running everywhere because like we baristas and bartenders and as well as like waiters, we do work like where clients are. So we really have to be careful. And that's one of the things which makes actually bar really dangerous because there is clients, there is also us, and there is again us in front of the client. So it's really hard. So the bar is a subject of AKCCP, as I can say, just like kitchen as well as restaurants. And then we do have like the critical areas. And one of those critical areas that we deal with is there is ice, which is the most dangerous thing that we are going to be talking about. There is fresh fruits, there is garnish, there is milk and coffee stations, there is juices and syrups, and then glasses and break breakages. So let's address each one of these five most dangerous things, each one like apart. And then let's start with ice because ice is the most dangerous one. We Ice is not only like frozen water, like we do take it as a food product, like actually. And we have like we especially students because we are the ones to collect it like to bring it in the bar to make it like from the ice machines. So we do have like different mistakes that we make, and some of them are like touching ice with hands. Like if a client see you like touching ice with hands, mama mia, it won't be like a good thing. Not even clients, but even like the superior bartenders. This is something that we don't tolerate because those ice they are the ones like to put in the drinks of people. So you can hold them with hands, and sometimes they are so sharp that they can even cut you. So you have also to be careful. That's one of the mistakes that we students sometimes we make, like scooping again ice with a glass. Like some people just uses glass as a quick method, like to scoop ice. But that's not a good thing to do because there's some materials that we do have to use to scoop ice, or leaving the scoop ice in the ice bin because you know that ice melt. Imagine if you take ice and put it in a bin like with I don't know with trash foods, then it will melt and then it will start smelling bad. So those are like little mistakes that bartenders do, but which can be done. Another one is not covering the bin. Another mistakes that we actually students sometimes do is uh, taking ice. Like sometimes you just see that some glasses are broken, and then we get ice and the glasses and every stuff. We put them like in an ice bin when you know that like there are some glasses which are already broken, like which can harm someone. Yeah, we in this topic we are going to see like how to handle like all of them. And I know that we will have like a specific course that one of my friend will teach about handling all of these scenarios. And yeah, it will be really helpful. So one of the professional rules that we have to know is to use only dedicated ice scope. Like don't use the glass. Don't take like the ice by hands. Just use the ice scoop. And the scoop must not remain in the bin. So after taking the ice, just take out the scoop and sometimes they leave it at the top for another person if they want ice to come and pick it too. And the bin must always be covered for sure. If glass enters, or ice must be discarded, and then hands must never touch ice. Right? This is a nota bene, like the first rule, never touch ice with your hands. And so the second one is fresh fruits and garnish. You know that we use like fruits actually like in cocktails, in mojito, in spritz garnish, in lemon 40. Like we do use like fruits every time. And then you have to be careful with the knives because every time you're cutting like the fruits and then you have to be careful, like not cut yourself. The proper way to handle the knife while cutting the lemon, while cutting the oranges, like to make the cocktails. So some of also the risk that we can experience, they are not only cutting by yourself, but let's say oxidation, because sometimes we do put like a lot of lemon or like in a drink, which can be done because they are like specific ranges that you can mix because we get to see them like in the third chapter, which is mixing techniques. So let's say if you have to add some amount of lemon, you don't have to put the the whole glass of lemon because then it will lead to chaos or like the cocktail won't become as good as it should be. So they are like specific ranges of mixing. So we get to see this after, like, sometimes they fruits are dirty and you have to clean them. So, and then you have to know that the glasses that you're serving in are really clean, no contamination. So, we are not serving, but then we are dealing with the hygiene of the customers. We are dealing like with the reputation of the hotel that we are working at. Because of course, if you get to serve in a bad glass, they will report, like they will just have to write it in the review that at this hotel they're serving like uh, drinks in unclean glasses, and that's not what we want. We do want to be like professionals, so we have to check like all of them. And then the third thing that we can talk about is milk and coffee stations. So what should we be aware of? One of the things that you should know is that fridge must always be in the refrigerator. Like, don't keep the milk at the top. Like sometimes we do when we are making the cappuccino, stuff like that in the morning. You see, like some people just leave the milk at the top. You can do that because you have to keep the milk in the fridge. Another thing is that you have to be aware of the label at the that is written, let's say, on the milk or the product that you are going to serve, because sometimes you will see when you will be like in internship, sometimes like stuffs are expired, and imagine if you serve like an expired juice to a kid, like it's something untolerable. So we have to even check. Sometimes because we are dealing with a long crew of people, we just check them like before and after work. Like maybe 20 minutes before leaving, we just take like 10 minutes to check to arrange everything together, like putting the juices on their side, putting milk on their side, putting the wines on their side, and doing so, we do check like their expired dates. So this is another thing that we have to consider. We have to consider like that they like making cappuccino, the form that you make, if after serving one person, you just have to buta, like throw it because you can't. Sometimes I've seen that people want to economize, and then after using one milk, they're like, oh no, 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 like some people are coming, let me use again this milk. And then sometimes it doesn't come well, let's say, like the cappuccino doesn't come as you wanted it to come. So one of the things that you have to know, like after mixing, let's say one drink, after making one cappuccino using like milk, clean the thing that you are using and keep it in a normal place, and wait for another client. Like don't use always like the same thing that you've been using to make the form of the milk. Like And then on the juices, we can say that we have to make sure that if we are serving the fresh juices, that the fruits are really clean, and we have to make sure that they are not rotten fruits, like they are really fresh and good. And we have to know that the bottles that we are serving in are good, or if they are already closed in the bottles, you have to make sure that the bottles are clean. They don't have, let's say, ice outside, so you have to clean it with a towel and yeah. And the last one that you really have to take care of are the bar utensils. Let's say spoons, the forchetti, the forks, the glasses, the coffee cups, like everything. We are the ones to make these stuffs clean. And sometimes when you are like washing them like really quick, because of course after,
Yeah.
yes. Do you have a question, Concorde? Okay. So like when you're serving drinks, of course, and let's say you have to, like, the waiters actually they bring the stuffs to clean, and you will see that we really clean so fast for other people like to use them. And sometimes unprofessional things to do like is to wash them quickly and then leave them not well washed. So we really have to be careful that everything is washed because we are going to need it again. We have to make sure that the spoons that we are using are really clean and they do not have like some stuffs. And we have to make sure that everything is dry because you can't use again the wet stuffs like wet spoons, wet cups. We have to make sure that everything is dry to again reuse it. Never leave them dirty. Never leave them dirty, and never use the same tool before cleaning it. Like before, after it's being used, clean it and then dry it and then make it ready to be again used. So. What are the personal hygiene that we bartenders must possess? As my colleague has said, we do have to be clean in terms of wearing the uniforms. Tidy, make your tie very well. I know that you all know that we'll be wearing like the white shirts and white t-shirts, so make sure that they look so great, like so representable because we are like in front of the clients. Make sure that your hair looks great and tidy. If you have like normal hair, make sure that it looks clean. No jewels. As waiters, like we don't wear the jewels like the jewels while working. No, no metal watches. Like one of the things that you have to do if you have a watch when you arrive at work, take your watch, take your phone, take your jewels, put them like in your bag and put them aside. No, no phone at the contour, like please, no phone because you are in front of the clients. So we should repeat them again and again. So and then what can we say a lot about the bar counter hygiene? They make sure that the contour is always dry, always tidy, always shiny, and free of stains. So because that's where we do work, we have to make sure that the place is clean. And then we do have make like a continuous cleaning every like 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, to make sure that the contour is clean, everything is clean, the all bottles like in their places and all cups are in their places, are being dried so as to be used again and again. So there are like the operation safety at the bar, and bar is full of physical risks. And we do have like four types of risks. The first one is sleep risks, which is mainly caused by ice and water at the floor. It is again caused by the spirit drinks. Like I've said, when we're making the cocktails, sometimes you do spray like drinks everywhere. So this sleep risk, it is sometimes caused by the sleep the spirit drinks again with the foam beers. Because if you're pouring the beer and sometimes you don't keep an eye on what you're doing, sometimes it goes down. The work stops and others. So what are the rules? The rules that we have to know is that we should always clean the floor, use the wet floor, signals like the one that I've put here, which says attenzione pavimento bagnato, which means like the pavement is wet, just to make clients be aware that that place is forbidden to pass at because it may lead to sleep risks. Never run like in the bar because you may kind of face some troubles after. And wear non-slip shoes. So after, like before going to the internships, they will give like a lot of details about which kind of shoes you have to wear, but for sure not slip shoes because they can lead to these kind of risks. The second type of risks is the cut risk. This can be caused by the broken glasses. This can be caused by the broken bottles, the fruit knives, as well as the glass mixed into ice, as I've mentioned before. So what can we do then to prevent it? Never collect glasses with bare hands. Never, never. You always use a brush and a pan if you want to collect like broken glasses. If glasses enter the ice, discard ice and separate glass waste from regular waste. Because in the times of picking them, one has to be attentive that if he's holding like glass waste, it's not the same way as you will handle, let's say, the the food waste or the plastics. So another type of risk is the burn risks. And these are the inflammations caused by like the hot machines, putting your hands directly on the electric machines, or dealing with boiling water, and not being careful with boiling water. And so we should never touch the steam after using them, like after while making the coffees. Never try to put like your hands on the on those metallic bottles that we do make from in, because they are hot. And avoid like looking around while you're handling, let's say, hot stuffs like hot water, hot milk. Always be attentive. The last type of risks that we can talk about is electrical risks, which is caused by blenders, shakers, mixtures, and beer dispensers. So do not use wet equipments. Do not put your wet hands like on those kinds of machine because they have electricity. And report damaged cables. Like if in case you get to see that there are some damages on the cables, report it immediately. And if you see like some electrical signals that maybe electricity is cutting itself like every time, be aware that like there are like some dangerous stuffs. So report it immediately. Never open electrical covers and dry surface before plugging in machines. Like make sure that before plugging in a machine, turning it on, the flow is dry. So we do have the 10-10-10 model. And why is it called a 10-10-10? Because it's 10-minute, 10-second, 10-point principle that we bartenders must learn. And it's not actually that hard. So it's like 10 seconds front contour wipe. So make sure that you take like 10 seconds to see that the front contour is wiped. If it's not wiped, like wipe it in 10 seconds. 10 minutes beverage area check. Check the beverage area, check the expired dates of beverages. Make sure that they are all in good place to use, and 10 points areas to verify every shift. Like every shift, you have to verify these 10 points. The first one is ice, the second one is fridge, the third one is speed rack, the fourth one is juice, syrup pass, coffee stations, blender, throw, napkins, straws and cups. Those points you do have to verify them before starting your shift and after completing your shift. But for sure, 10 minutes you have to spend them checking the beverages, and 10 seconds maybe per, I don't know, like 10 minutes, 10 seconds per minute to make sure that the contour is clean and clean. So behavior rules at the contour. What are the rules that you can, as my colleague has mentioned, there are some, of course, some correct phrases that we should use. Good evening, sir. What can I get you? Or what can I get for you? One moment, please. Try to speak in a disciplined way, like coming right up. Thank you and enjoy. So never use go somewhere else. Like I'm busy. Go to another bartender. Wait, it's not my shift. Wait for another guy. It's finished. Like we don't use those statements, especially if you want your career to last longer. So don't use them. And there are some common mistakes that students use of not cleaning the contour, leaving ice uncovered, using the glass, using the hands to take the ice, as I've mentioned. So we keep on repeating this on and on just to make sure that you guys have understood this chapter. And then at the end of this course, you are going to get an assignment, the assignment 2, that you have to submit before the beginning of next course. So you will find all the details, the deadlines, or everything in the assignment. And thank you all others who are here. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah,
And
see you all. Thank you for joining.